Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session called Branding and Design DIY versus Agency, What You Need to Know. And my guest speaker here today is Eli Bogdan from our main event sponsor, Fiverr. Very, very excited for this session. Eli, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to disappear and I'll be back for the Q&A. Take it away, Eli.
Great. So thank you for this. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's so important for us that we're doing it on Israel's Independence Day, which is a holiday, but still we decided to come and speak to you because this is a great opportunity for us and for you to hear Fiverr's offering and to hear in general the concepts of outsourcing and how you can do a DIY, kind of do it yourself, and how can you hire freelancers and outsource, and really scale your business and be more efficient. So I'll do a quick intro to Fiverr. So let me share my screen. And here I'll share with you a little presentation about Fiverr so you understand what the company is. And this is our official presentation from our website, so you can find it later on fiverr.com under the invest page to understand fully about the company. But first of all, what it is. So Fiverr is a global marketplace that connects freelancers and businesses from around the world to freelancers for any digital service. Our goal and our mission is to change how the world works together, and it means both for businesses, SMBs, startups, organizations, nonprofits, and both for freelancers. So it's easier to freelance and have a global audience, and it's easier to hire professionals from everywhere to scale your business and really boost your abilities, your capabilities in more or less any digital category. So a quick recap on what Fiverr is. Fiverr was formed in Israel in 2010. And today, 11 years later, we're already almost 2 years after our IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. We have 456 employees and some more people working for us globally. We have offices, our headquarters are in Tel Aviv. We have offices in the UK, in France, in Serbia, in Ukraine, and also in various places in the US, like New York, San Francisco, and Orlando. And we have a lot of capital to drive our great mission of changing how the world works together. Fiverr has a lot of different products. The ones that I really want to point to you, and you can write it down and just Google them later, the one that could be really relevant for startups in the early stages, for SMBs, or just for startups who want to scale. So obviously it's Fiverr Business, which is aimed to startups that are growing and for businesses that have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and up employees, and Fiverr Learn. So this is, you can write down to yourself, Fiverr Learn. It's our digital online courses platform where we have more than 100 courses in different subjects, everything from Photoshop to Adobe Premiere to website building in WordPress and other platforms, marketing, storytelling, and so on. Why is it so important? Because whether you want to do things yourself or you want to hire professionals, you need to understand and know the subject. And this is a great way for you to get the knowledge and then know how to manage your projects, your branding, your design, and your graphics. So I'll exit the presentation and we'll just talk about these concepts. And I want to also leave some time for questions. So I'll give you my 2 cents about how to approach branding and how to approach your design when you're in the earliest beginning. So one of the main things that Fiverr and other digital platforms and outsourcing, the globalization and the technology advancement are allowing us is to start from the beginning like the big guys. And what do I mean? Back in the days, not so long ago, when you were a small startup, you had to really think about what you can do. You just do a logo and then you do some adjustment, and you can afford to have an entire brand book, for example. You can do the process that big corporates or startups with a lot of funding do. With Fiverr, we're democratizing really the abilities of any business to start like a big business, like a well-funded business, because you can do really on a good budget, you can hire great professionals and do everything from the beginning like you should. And what do I mean? A lot of time when startups start their process without a proper branding book, without proper branding, without a mission statement, without the why, the how, the and the what, so later they need to do big changes. When you start and you do create your website and it's not aligned with your branding, with your messaging, it's not aligned with your graphics and your visuals. So later on, you need to do expensive changes. And sometimes just the technology, you're trying to save a lot of money on your website. You don't do the right architecture from the beginning. And then again, you need to put a lot of money into do this rebranding, rebuilding, and restructuring of your website and other assets. So if I would approach a startup or an SMB that want to do things right. So you have a lot of how-tos, and you can go to Fiverr guides, or you can just Google things on the internet. Like there's guides for everything, how to do your branding properly and how to do your design properly. And what you really should take from websites like Fiverr, like ours, it's to go and start the right way. Create a branding book and create and do the right branding with the messages. So create your mission statement, talk to a professional who knows how to take your vision, who knows how to understand your vision and make you understand your vision and put it into words. And then after that, the concept into graphic concepts, put it into visuals. And then with that visual, you create a branding book and you can really do it on a good budget. And from there, you will actually save money. Why is that? Because now you have a branding book, so you know how all your visuals look in your emails, in your brochures, in your flyers, on your website, in your email signature, on your cards, and any other asset. And from there, you can hire freelancers to do design, but they don't need to start from scratch again and again and again. So you save time on any task later, and also your other designs will be cheaper. So that's one thing. Same thing that you do with your text and your copies. Once you create the proper messaging, it's easier when you hire freelancers to show them the messaging, show them the branding, and then they can take any copy on your website or on a special project you're working on or a special offering, and to do everything aligned. When you do it right from the start, it becomes much easier later on. Now we have here the topic that do it yourself versus an agency. So we don't completely view it like this. So of course you can do things yourself and you can learn a lot of tools, let's say Photoshop or InDesign or Illustrator. You can learn them and you can do them. But if you have your startup and you have your idea, your product, your technology, you better focus on this. And we believe that the do-it-yourself is define what you need and then outsource it. Allow the professionals to do it, and they'll probably do it better for you. You, as an entrepreneur, as a startup owner, as a CEO, you have things that you need to take care of. You need to take care of investors. You need to take care of clients. You need to develop the product. It's a technological product. You need to hire a team and you need to manage people. You don't need to spend 2 days working on a presentation or doing designs for your website or building the website. You can outsource that on a good budget. You can also work with an agency, and we have a branch of agent Fiverr because we understand that sometimes you do need an agency when you're going to a specific move. When you want to go global, you might want to take an agency, and that's fine. But the idea is that you can hire agencies as well based on your need. You need to pay a retainer constantly. That's how we view it. You take it, the services when you need it. And when you don't spend money. Same thing with the freelancers. And something that we discuss internally, and it also we talk about it sometimes. We have a saying that says, when you grow up, you'll understand why you should do things right from the beginning, why you should invest in your branding, why you should invest in the brand book. But we say it differently. You'll understand and do it, then you'll grow. Okay, then you'll grow properly. Then you'll have better fundamentals, and it's important to do it right from the start, especially when you can really do it on a budget. And afterwards, you can just go to the site, you can register, you can go and search, it doesn't cost anything. And you can see a lot of YouTube videos or just read our guides to understand how you do it. We know that we have a great value proposition for startups and bees. They save a lot of money, a lot of time, and the main thing and I'm sure you all know it, as owners of businesses, as owners of startups, you always have more tasks that you can deal with. And when you align and when you are working only with the people that you have, and sometimes it's 2, 4, 5, 10 people, so you're working like this, mission after mission after mission after mission, with hiring freelancers for different tasks such as design, such as branding, such as copy, such as website building, video editing, and so on. You can work in parallel. You can have things ready much quicker. You're collapsing your time from A to Z to finish the project or several projects. So really try this concept of freelancing, of outsourcing. A lot of time you'll find professionals that are much better than you are in what you do, in what you need to do. And I can tell you, I had a business as well. And as entrepreneurs, a lot of time we think we have to do everything by ourselves because we know it the best. But the truth is that there's professional for different things. If it's a presentation, if it's a video creation, if it's a website building, let it go. Give it to the professional. They'll probably enrich your ideas and do it better because they do a lot of those things. And even if you think you can do it as well as the professional, this is not your job. Your job is to develop the business and focus on the core. So that's my two cents on how you can do branding design the right way, and to do this little switch in your head and be able to delegate. Once you delegate, you're able to grow. Once you can use professionals and do it on a budget, you can grow your business. So thank you. And I would like to look at the chat and look at some of the questions, and I'll just start answering.
Hi, Eli. Yeah, go for
Hi.
it. So I can bring up the questions as well.
Sure.
That makes it easier. So we've got Kay asking, does Fiverr provide any quality guarantee and protection against fraud, or test the freelancer posted on their website? Great question.
Okay, so we have a lot of mechanisms for you to choose the right freelancer. So there's things. If you're a business, if you're a startup that is already funded and scaling, or you're a business with 10 plus employees, you can apply for Fiverr Business, and then you'll get a dedicated customer success manager. You'll have 24/7 live chat, and you can even for matching services. That's on Fiverr Business. But really, you don't necessarily need this. You can go on Fiverr, and you can go also on Fiverr Business and search for whatever service you need. And then you have a lot of mechanism in place to choose the people that are professionals. So we have a leveling system, just like on Amazon and eBay. So we have no sellers with no level, new sellers. Then when you have some time on the platform and you do some sales with good rating and good quality parameters, so you go 1, after a while you get level 2. And when you're really selling a lot with great quality constantly, you're getting top rated seller. So those are the 3 levels that we have. And also there's constant valuation. Every month there is a valuation. So if you drop in rating or drop in delivery rate and things like that, you won't stay on your level. You lose your level. So that's a great indication to choose a good person. Also, you can read the reviews and see the amount of the reviews that the person has. And another thing, we have our pro sellers. So pro sellers, it's people that a lot of time we approach them because we know they're professionals somewhere, or they're coming to Fiverr, but they can't just open a profile. They need to apply. They need to upload a portfolio. So if they're graphic designers look at their portfolio. If they're developers, so we'll have people look at their GitHub, Stack Overflow, and works they did, and so on. Copy, same thing. So the pro ones are verified by Fiverr employees, so that's a guarantee to you. And of course, we have customer support, and your money is also safe with us. So we don't pay the sellers until you're happy, the delivery is finished and you're happy with it. Like not right away, a week or 2 after, only then the money goes to the seller. So we have a lot of mechanism in place, and I hope it gave an answer to that question.
Fantastic.
Let's take some more.
She did have a follow-up to what happens if it goes bad with a top seller.
So look, if it goes bad, so you have customer support and they look into the conversation, the discussion, and obviously if you were wronged in some way, you'll be refunded, you get the money back, and you'll get recommendations to someone who will do the job for you, because we understand that in the end, you need to get the job done, so you'll get everything so you can complete the job that you had to do in the time that you do it.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Eli. And let's see if we're getting some more questions. So those of you, we've got 2 minutes. If you want to have send any questions for Eli on Fiverr and its services, this is the time to do it. I have a question for Eli, actually. With your experience and your expertise at Fiverr, what are the top 3 things you would say that startups and new businesses use Fiverr for?
Okay, so a lot of startups in different stages, they use Fiverr for their business plan and pitch decks and one-pagers. So it comes together. So I'm sure you guys in startups, people who are watching and listening, you know that when you need, when you have a presentation to a potential investor, or when you need to update your board after your first investment. So that's a lot of work, working on the presentation, making everything perfect. Take a professional who does it for a living and outsource that to them. Obviously, you go and check every detail. It's your content. It's your, we call it brain dump, but let a professional put it in a nice way for you, for investors. So there's one pager that you send out, and then there's the investors deck, which is more in depth. And you need to have those things that investors like to see. And people who make them constantly, they know it. So that's one thing. And obviously, what I said before, a brand book that covers you, so you have the right ammunition from the beginning. And I think, yeah, that's enough. There's a lot of other things. Explainer videos, by the way, for startups. A lot of startups have complex products, and then in an explainer video, you can show it very easily instead of writing about it so long. And you can really do it on a budget. Instead of thousands of dollars for an animation like this, you can do it in hundreds.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eli, for that. We have a question from Philip saying, thanks, Eli. I've been considering freelancing on Fiverr to raise some capital. Is it easy to pick up some small jobs?
So what you need to do is you need to open a good profile. I'll give that suggestion. Do a little market research. Look at the services in your field. So let's say you want to offer website development. Look how people put their offering. People who already sell. How do they price themselves and their time or their content or whatever they're doing? So look at that and then offer a service. What you need to make sure is that you do a good job. If you do a good job, you'll stay on top and you'll get traffic. If you don't do a good job, you can expect to have sales be visible.
Fantastic. And we have a question from Susan. You're right that as an entrepreneur, when you try to do everything yourself, what if you have tried to build a website and realize that you need help? Can you get that from Fiverr?
So you can definitely get it from Fiverr. There's a lot of professionals in any platform you want. So it could be Wix, it could be WordPress, it could be, if the website is your business, so you can have somebody develop it from scratch. You can have Webflow, and really any platform. It's better to consult with a professional. A lot of times it will enrich you and open your mind to new concepts, because we know what we know, and sometimes we need to consult with someone from the outside to understand what's going on in the world, what did we miss, or just what's the best practice, and also learn from others' mistakes and experience. So definitely, if you search for website development, you'll find tens of thousands of different freelancers that can do a great job.
Brilliant. Thank you. And our last question before we sign off with Eli is an interesting one, actually. What was your budget when you were working with when you originally started up the business?
Okay, so we had about $10,000, and we had a lot of things we had to do because we worked in several languages. So we also had translations. And first, really, we tried to do it again ourselves or with people we know. And then it's a completely different world and rhythm of work when you rely on favors from friends who speak different languages. So we were able to try everything we needed. We created one video and then just put subtitles on it. So we did it smartly. We invested this one day to plan everything, and then we executed. We could execute everything on that budget. So it's a video, it's a landing page, it's the pitch deck that I said before, and the one pager, and the business plan, also someone to review our business plan. So that was our budget.
Super interesting. And I can't miss this one question. So this will be the last question, actually. So it's from Jacob, and he says, what makes Fiverr different from its competitors?
Okay, so what makes Fiverr different is, first of all, we're unique in our concept of gigs, the gig economy. Gig is actually a trademark of Fiverr, and that idea that you take a service that somebody gives, and it's a service as a product. So we are SAP, service as a product. And we spend a lot of time, and we really have the best know-how in the world of how to process and define a service. So the experience will be as easy as buying a product on Amazon. So I think that's the main thing. And again, it's years of experience, really strong growth. And the main thing is the great people at Fiverr. I'm not talking about myself, talking about my peers. Really, it's a pleasure to work with super talented people. And that brings out a great result, I believe.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Eli, for your session and your time and your advice and your insights. It's been a great, great session, and everyone has definitely gotten a lot of out of it. Thank you, everyone, for watching the session. We're going to end the session now, and stay tuned. In a few minutes, we'll be back with the next session for today. So take care, Eli. Let's go. We're going offline now. Bye.
Bye-bye.